Hey guys, Katie Mild. Welcome to this week's Money Minute. So today we're going to be talking all about advice. Where do you go when you have answers to pressing questions? When you have questions, particularly around your money, around personal finance, around getting out of debt or investing, where do you go? How do you research? Who do you source advice from? This can be particularly challenging in the money space because honestly, money has so much stigma around it. Many people feel shame, they feel embarrassment with their situation. Others feel bored, intimidated, or totally overwhelmed, and they don't know where to begin. They know they should be doing something, but what they should be doing, they don't understand the details. So today, I'm going to give you a few tips, a few pieces of advice as you source your own advice and look for your own answers to your pressing questions. So, tip number one, only take money advice from individuals who you admire financially. I call them the Warren Buffetts of your life. Who are the people in your life who you know have done really, really well financially? You want to emulate them. Go to them and just say, look, I want to follow in your footsteps. How did you do it? I would love to learn from you. Now, it's really, really important that when you're looking for these people in your life who you want to take advice from, make sure it's people who have actually done what you're trying to achieve, okay? So if you know someone in your life, maybe you love them, you value them, they serve a different purpose, but maybe they're not the most fiscally responsible, you don't want to go to them for money advice, okay? So you want to go to experts, subject matter experts, people who have done what you are trying to achieve, and go to them and just say, I want to learn. I have questions. Would you be willing to share? And most people, of course, they're willing to help you out, especially those that you love, okay? So only take money advice from individuals who you admire financially, people you truly want to emulate, people who are actually walking the walk. My second tip, really make sure that you search for overarching patterns and trends. Okay, so if you're doing online research, if you're reading books, listening to podcasts, talking to a variety of different experts, different people who, again, have done what you're trying to achieve, look for similarities, look for patterns. There's an old saying that says, success leaves clues, and it really, really does. Especially around money, you'll hear some of the same basic principles coming up again and again and again. Now, some of the ways that those tips are executed may be different, but the general principle will usually hold fast. So for example, if you're trying to get out of debt, pay extra on the principal payments. If you're trying to have conservative investments that grow steadily over time, in general, you'll get more of that with index funds than just trying to gamble or play the stock market, right? Those are very broad pieces of advice, but in general, they hold up with the test of time. So search for overarching patterns and trends. Don't immediately listen to any one expert. Source from a variety of places, and then think about what the advice has been given, and think about, do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? What's the argument and the counter argument? Research the nuances and formulate your own philosophy. Look for those successful clues through patterns. Don't listen to any one source. All right, and my final tip would be lean into your financial learning, lean into your financial education. Your values and your goals are going to change over time. And with that, your financial education should grow, should evolve, and should also change over time. The same questions that you have coming out of college are not going to be the same financial questions you have in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Life changes, and your money's going to need to change around it. So the learning never stops. Even when you feel like you have a really good strategy, you're on lockstep and things are moving, keep learning. So how can you learn? Books, podcasts, radio shows, source from peers, from mentors. Always be on the lookout for new pieces of information and see, well, does this work? Does this make sense? Does this not? And source as much information as you can and look for those patterns. So that is it for me for this week. Again, if you are looking for ways to source advice, 3 things. Take advice from people who have done it successfully, search for the patterns and the trends, and always be willing to lean into your learning, ask questions, and grow and learn. Don't let your ego get in the way. Your money needs will change over time. That's it from me this week. Have a great weekend. What are some of your pressing money questions? I'd love to help. Put them in the comments below. Ring the bell to subscribe. And until then, have a great weekend. Talk to you guys next time.